Tension is one of the most common questions we get asked on a sewing machine. So we're working with the Singer Elite CE677, but this tension information can be applied to any Singer sewing machine with a dial at the top. So let's explain first off why I don't get so worked up about tension. Number one, I never blame tension to be the problem of my sewing machine. If I'm sewing along and I have something that's kind of crumpled up or threads that aren't going, it's not the tension. You probably don't have it threaded right. Your bobbin might not be in correctly. We'll put a whole list of things for you to check for troubleshooting why sewing machines don't work. Truly, it's not the tension. Now, let's explain tension. If you have the same thread in your needle as you do in your bobbin, this tension right here is going to be left at the middle number, somewhere between 3 and 5. So that's why it's at 4 right now. As I work with different weights of thread, if I choose to, like right now, I have a fun variegated thread in my needle, and I have something totally different in my bobbin. So I have a pink thread downstairs. So right now, I might be a little off, meaning one thread's a little thicker than the other. So what's going to happen is one of them is going to kind of start to play tug-of-war and could pull some of the lighter weight thread to the side of the heavier weight thread. So right now it's heavier at the top. So if I was going to see any of the pink thread up above, like a little bit of the pink dots from the bobbin thread on the top of my fabric when I'm doing some decorative stitches here, I am going to find that all I would need to do is loosen or smaller number and make it be so now the bobbin can still pull those stitches to the back side. So this will give you a little bit of a look for what tension should be. See how you can see some of the colored thread pulled to the back where the pink is? And that would be perfect tension for decorative stitches. But going back and having the same thread in your needle in your bobbin, they're balanced. So the stitches are going to look the same from the front to the back. So if you are not getting a balanced looking stitch and it's not big hairy loops or anything, you can adjust the tension. I'll give you a little tip though. If you just move this dial like oh so slightly, it's not going to be anything that you're going to be able to see on your fabric, truly. I would suggest if you're going to take and change a tension, do it by one whole number. So like by 3 or by 2, enough so you can see some difference, because half of you probably don't even know which way to turn it. So either this way is going to make it worse and you'll be like, oh yeah, probably going the wrong way. Go the opposite way and see if you get a better look to your stitch. But truly, if you leave this here, take the time to always put a new needle in, clean out down below, check out the cleaning video that we've done, and make sure it's totally lint-free. You've got the right needle for the thread you're working with. Tension is not your problem, but it is good to know what it is, but don't go here at the very first little hiccup of thread. If your thread breaks, you need a new needle. If your thread breaks, you probably also need to clean out down below. If you've got lots of loops on the back of your fabric, you're not threaded correctly through the top area of the tension, like there's just not, the thread's not where it needs to be, or you're not in the take-up lever. So there's a lot of other things that actually are more of a operator error and not a tension problem. But once again, when I use threads that are 2 different weights, I will sometimes need to adjust it so they are balanced and they look correct based on what side of the fabric I am looking at. So for like decorative stitches, I want everything to pull to the back side. That's why you kind of see more pink in the back here, because it's pulling the decorative thread back here. So I have a prettier front to the stitches I'm working on. So we've been doing videos on the blanket stitches, decorative stitches, why you need to sew out a stitch book. We talk about stabilizer. You need to have something behind your fabric when you're sewing stitches, how to get the perfect satin stitch, and which foot to use for all these different stitches. So I hope you'll check out all the videos that we've done. We've got a link below in the description for the playlist. So start right back at the beginning. You can totally binge watch and master this Singer sewing machine that you own. We're working on the Singer Elite CE677. Nice little electronic machine with a great amount of stitches and alphabets, and easy to push the buttons and get the stitch you want. If you have a Singer very close to this, you're probably picking up lots of helpful information even with these videos that are very similar to your model. So I hope you're having fun sewing. Check out all the links below if you need any help with bobbins or our online course called the Stitching Cosmos online course where you could master more of your decorative stitches.